when I was a bit skinny.
Yeah, I remember.
Right now, I get small body.
Yeah.
And now I can rap a bit too.
Whoa, I like that.
Uncle Rex, me, my rap is small, 1.
Oh, but it's good.
It's good, small. We'll get there. We'll get there. But how have you been?
I've been working very hard behind the scenes. We're trying to make sure that our country becomes what it's supposed to become.
Very important. Uncle Rex, I mean, I'm sure you've probably had this question coming over and over, but I mean, many people just know, like we've all known you as a musician, that's all you do. How did you get into politics?
You know, I think my drive is, I'm too passionate about this country, especially when it comes to our sector. The creative economy, the tourism, the cultural aspect. I've been a cultural advocate for a very long time, so I'm driven by the passion, the fact that we have so much to offer, and also the very answers we've been seeking to be able to support our teeming youth, to create jobs that is gainful to the majority of our youth. That question was not answered. The state was not seeing it from that light. And I'm so excited that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government have seen it. You know, no sector, no industry can answer this question than the tourism, culture, and creative arts industry. Right. And now we've been given the chance to make sure that this country is branded through tourism, arts, and culture, so as to be able to bring investments and create jobs for as many of our youth.
Wow, that's so cool. And you know, I'm sure you've had this in your heart, but now being appointed as a presidential staffer for Black Star Experience, you've always wanted this to happen. You wanted the best for the country, but did you see this coming, this opportunity coming?
If I say I did see it, no, I didn't. I had the passion, so it got to a point where I said, okay, let me get into politics and see where God will place me to do what I have to do. But I'm a type of person that I always have my plan A and plan B. So I told myself that what if I don't get opportunity in politics? Then I'll find a way to do it on my own through some kind of an NGO or something.
Right.
So I started working behind the scenes with or without appointment. But President Mahama, in his own wisdom and God guidance, has been able to create this magic, and then we are going to work hard to make sure that he is not disappointed.
All right. And with this role that you have right now, what exactly are you supposed to be doing as a presidential staffer for Black Star Experience?
Okay, so my role is, you know, the Black Star Experience needed to be defined. You know, my office was not in existence already. Okay. So a lot of people were thinking, oh, so what is this Black Star Experience about? People were thinking about football, sports, or whatever, because our national team is called Black Stars or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to define what the Black Star Experience is, and also to do the strategic planning as to how we will be able to sell this idea and to also implement it with all the interministerial and interagencies and whatever, so that everybody will be aligned so as to be able to speak with one voice and to put our best foot into the global market to say, this is us, this is Ghana. So that has already been done. So I'll take you through our mission, our positioning. Our mission is to reaffirm, revitalize, and reimagine the essence, identity, and the spirit of Ghana to attract people, investments, businesses into the Ghanaian economy.
Right.
So that is our mission. It is a very broad mission. And then we have to, in terms of positioning, this encompasses the structured processes that enable both Ghanaian and non-Ghanaians to explore, engage with, and appreciate the richness of the nation's cultural assets, attractions, and pleasures.
Okay.
It it cuts across. So actually, is the Black Star experiences rebranding Ghana through culture, arts, and tourism.
Right.
And so it's not a work of one person. My work is coordination. We're coordinating all the ministries and inter-ministries, inter-agencies to make sure that we are all aligned to one brand positioning. This is how we see ourselves as Ghanaians and how we want the world to see us through our 7 pillars. And these are the 7 pillars. Our 7 pillars starts with cinema.
Okay.
Cinema has to do with our storytelling through films. Because if we don't tell our own stories, somebody will tell it for us in their own way. So we are going to control the narrative about who we are and who we want the world to see us, or how we want the world to see us through our movies and storytelling. Then we come to our music.
Right.
We have to define the Ghanaian sound. There's been a lot of debate about high life, what is high life and what is not high life. But the question is high life our only music? We have Bobobo, Apatampa, Osode, Adwa, whatever. We have a lot, Palogo. We have a lot of dances and songs. How are we going to define our music and our sound? That is one of the pillars. And as we're doing that, we need to position the Ghanaian music in such a way that it can have a global appeal and also it can be exportable in a proper sense of it. Then we come to our cuisine.
Yeah, food.
Our food. Look, I keep saying if you go to Osu right now, you can have maybe 10 sushi bars.
Yeah.
And what is sushi? It's Japanese food, packaged, exported. And it's in Ghana, and everybody's sushi. So now Ghanaians think when you go to sushi bar, then it means you are hip, you know? People wants to go to Chinese restaurants. What is a Chinese restaurant? Chinese food packaged and exported. When are we also going to have our kelewele packaged?
Gankomi.
Our gankomi, our wache, our fanti kenke, our potompoto, our banku, fecheredechi, and all those things. How are we also going to package it and export it so that somebody will also say, I want to go to a Ghanaian bar? We can even brand it and give it a name. You know, these are some of the things, because as we do this, how are we going to ensure that if you are a hotel and you want to operate in our country, you have to serve our food? As well as, I don't want to go to a 5-star hotel and I want to eat banquet and they say, no, we don't have, I want to eat Ghanaian breakfast. They say, we have English breakfast. I'm not English. I am a Ghanaian, an African. You know, these are the things that we are going to work on. And our aesthetics, our paintings, our sculpture. I mean, Ghana is the only country that when you go to Teshi area, they will do a casket with a microphone, with guitar, and all these things are things that makes us unique. How are we going to be intentional about this and tell the world that, as for we Ghanaians, this is how we do some of our caskets?
Right.
It will interest other people, you know. So there are so many things about us that we can sell. And then we come to fashion, our fabrics,
Our clothes, everything.
our clothing and everything. We have our own kentes and our own Ankaras. We have a lot of beautiful, especially young designers. In fact, when you come into the creative economy, designing, fashion is number one. People think it's music. No, it's fashion.
Yeah, what you wear.
What we wear. I mean, we have some brilliant global standard Ghanaian designers. They need to be amplified.
I think I saw one that was one person designed one for I think Erica Badu at the Met Gala.
Exactly.
You know, it was so beautiful.
We need to be intentional about supporting them and giving them the platform so that the world will see them. And then when the world sees them, the world sees Ghana through them.
Exactly.
That is why With Black Star Experience, we say, see Ghana, feel Ghana, and enjoy Ghana. So we are going to do these things. And then when it comes to our literature,
Okay.
we've been having Omar Tedu. What are we doing with our brilliant intellectuals who have written serious books?
Yeah.
Everybody opens their mouth and Chinua Achebe. What about Omar Tedu? When are we going to have our seminars about these things? Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah wrote serious books. What are we doing with these things? So we need to be intentional about this. Then our culture. Look at our chieftaincy. The way our traditional leaders even dress when they are doing their festivals or stuff. How have we amplified this? Recently, we have Otumfo celebrating Akwesi Day at the Buckingham Palace. And what did we do? Nothing. These things should have given us a mileage to sell Ghana to every corner of the globe. But we sat aloof. So these are the things that Black Star Experience is going to be intentional about, so as to be able to sell our story and sell ourselves to the world.
Wow. This is beautiful, and I like the lineup. It's like it just touches every base of everything about Ghana, and we're all looking forward to it. Now, prior to all of this, the launch and all that, there had been some conversations, and sometimes you hear people say, oh, it's going to be some monthly programs, and there are going to be activities, and we're not sure. So now that you're here today, if you can tell us, is there any monthly plan for the Black Star Experience?
Yes, during the NDC campaign, it stated that, but it did not say there's going to be monthly events.
Right.
Some of the things will be observance. Like if we say Ghana Food Month, it means eat your food.
Okay.
Eat what you grow and grow what you eat. So that particular month, we are going to observe. And if there are some small events that we will have to do, first year, second year, these things will come
with time.
You know. And Black Star Experience is not going to be an Accra Kumasi event. It's a national event. So in July, for example, we're going to do a fashion week. It's going to be at Tamale.
Okay.
And this is where the president himself is going to be on the runway.
Yeah.
It's a historic moment and an exciting moment. For the first time, a president, the number one man on the land, is going to be on the runway. So the whole situation is, imagine, this is what I see. It has not happened, but it has happened within me. And it will manifest. And I want every Ghanaian to see it that way. Imagine a tamale that in a very near future, people will travel all over the world. After all, we have an international airport.
We do.
People will travel all over the world to Tamale for Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So different fashion designers from the continent, from other places around the globe will come to showcase what they have, as Ghanaians also showcase what we have to the globe. And it's happening in Tamale. Right. What do you think will happen to the Tamale's economy?
A lot.
A lot is going to happen. And that is how we want the Black Star Experience to be. It's not going to be centered in Accra. Some of the things will happen in different regions. So if you sit in Accra and you don't see things happening, everything happening in Accra, don't think that Black Star Experience is not working. Because whatever we are doing anywhere in the region, it will be amplified. And this will also help local tourism. People will have to travel to Tamale to go and experience the Black Star there, or travel to the Volta region, or travel to Kumasi, or travel to Takoradi and stuff like that. So these are the things that we are planning. And, you know, we launched in May. So 5 months is already gone.
Gone, exactly.
So this year, what we're going to do, we will do 1 or 2, 3 major projects, but we are planning into 2026, 2027. Some of the projects that will happen 2026, 2027 will be launched this year.
Okay.
Then the actual program will happen in the following year, because any serious event that you want to do, and if you want it to be successful, you need a year planning. We don't want to do things haphazard. because Black Star Experience logo is also a sign or symbol of excellence as the ideal way Ghanaians wants to be seen in the eyes of the globe. So we cannot meddle with mediocrity. It's either you're doing it top notch or don't even start. So we don't want to be rushed to do things in a haphazard manner. That is why we say we will amplify already existing events, or we will create new ones. Okay. So those existing programs, we will look at it and help amplify them, especially some of our traditional festivals. We've been doing these festivals ages, but how have we marketed these festivals into the global market so as to be able to bring tourists to Ghana? Because that is the objective. We want Ghana to be the number one destination when it comes to tourism. Why? Because we have the competitive advantage, because we are the best democracy when it comes to Africa. We are the most loving people and peaceful people, hospitable people. It is our advantage. And we are the Black Stars, the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. We have to capitalize on this. In fact, we have castles and forts than any other country in Africa. We need to capitalize on all these things. There are a lot of tourist sites that we haven't even discovered yet. You know, and those that we have also discovered, how have we treated them? Somebody wants to go to Cape Coast Castle. He got there, he's so excited. He wants to sleep for 3 days. Where does he sleep? He wants to go to a restaurant to eat. Do we have any such thing? So we need to be intentional about some of these things. Look at the Brie Gardens. What is stopping us to renovate the Brie Gardens so that it attracts tourists for the eastern region?
Right.
There are so many things that we have in plan so as to be able to spread the Black Star experience. And I want to emphasize on this. Black Star experience is not an event. It is a 365 days way of life. If you're a Ghanaian, our flag is red, gold, green. The red is the blood of our ancestors who fought for this land. The yellow is our mineral resources represented by gold. The green is our vegetation. The black is me and you. Every Ghanaian, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how am I going to shine my Black Star? By eating Ghanaian food, you are shining the Black Star. You being a radio presenter or a journalist, by talking about things that will make Ghana who we are, you are shining the Black Star. By wearing Ghanaian clothes, you are shining the Black Star. So Black Star experience is not about some event that happens in 1 month and that's it. No, it's every day, our way of life. It's our breath. It's our essence, our identity. So we have to all embrace it first. If you don't see yourself, no one will see you. If you don't feel yourself, no one will ever feel you. And if you don't enjoy yourself, nobody will enjoy you. Okay. So Black Star experience, see Ghana, feel Ghana, and enjoy Ghana.
Right. Okay, now there's I think this particular question. So I know that we all want to do this, and I like the fact that you said you were going to amplify it and all that. We had different aspects of people, I mean institutions when it comes to their space and all that. So I wanted to see how we are going to bring all these people together. And as you said, you're not looking at only Ghana, but you're looking across of Ghana. And it's like you're going to move people from one place to the other. And as much as if you're going to Tamale, you're definitely going to move people or mobilize people from here to Tamale to be part of all of this. How do you plan to execute this? Because it's not going to be easy.
You know, Black Star experience, the actual effect is not going to happen overnight. It is also a gradual change of attitude, a gradual change of mindset. So we want to do, let's say, a fashion show. Fashion Week in Tamale. Obviously, we will advertise it. Some of the Ghanaians who would want to see what is going to happen there will travel, and we have a problem. Look at our routes.
Exactly.
It's not everybody that has money to
fly.
And it's not, Black Star Experience is not for the rich people alone. It's for every Ghanaian. So then it comes to the infrastructural development. That is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that under his big push agenda, he's going to invest heavily in the infrastructural aspect of tourism. So that is why I say it's not going to happen overnight. But people who are serious to go to Tamale to see His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the runway will do whatever it takes to go. Because if somebody died, we would have gone anyway. You know, so this is not something that, it is also, the economics must also make sense. You cannot, it's not a political campaign that you buzz people that we are going to do fashion show in Tamale, so these are buses, free buses, go and join and go to Tamale. That's not going to happen. It is something that we are starting, and as time goes on, people who are interested, and people must be interested if you care about Ghana, so as to be able to make all these things. The first year is not going to be easy, second year is not going to be easy, but the third year we would have actually find our bearings as to the local tourism and also the global tourism. You know, so a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. The first step was the launch. The second step is we're going to go around the country for community engagements. We want to get everybody involved, especially the creatives, and there are people who are even under the creative industry and they don't know. So we want to get everybody involved, for people to buy into the Black Star Experience agenda. And then thirdly, we want to make sure that it is spread over across the country, whilst at the same time we're also creating platforms and synergies to make sure that we get opportunities to tell the world who we are, so as to be able to create opportunities for our creatives, be it fashion, movie, music, and whatnot. What is stopping us to do exhibitions for Ghanaian painters and sculptors and whatever? All these things are in the pipeline. And can't people say, so you look at the economic situation we find ourselves in, we have to be creative enough to, one of the agenda of Black Star Experience is also comb around the world to look for some grants and some monies and whatever to be able to do some of the things that needs to be done. Where there is a will, there's always a way.
Right, if you're just joining me this morning here on Daybreak Hits, Uncle Rex Omar is my guest this morning, and so far I'm sure you have been following the conversation on Black Star Experience. The Black Star Experience, we've been discussing it, we've been talking over and over, so much has been said about it, and today he is breaking it down for us to get an understanding and how we can all be a part of it. Now, I would like to talk about opportunities. I believe that this should be a time that usually sometimes we are fond of, maybe there's an event we believe that the right people to do, if you go and bring people from this country or that country, they can come and make it or make the setup. Yes, once a while maybe we might need that help. But what are some of the opportunities you're looking to actually create for individuals, aside the creatives, in this aspect of the Black Star Experience?
Thank you very much. All over the world, the creative economy thrives with private capital. And also, apart from the creatives can never succeed without the creative entrepreneurs. There are two different people. They all fall within the creatives. But without creative entrepreneurs, creative industry will not work. And we have tourism entrepreneurs. So you see the lunch. The people who made the lunch the way it was were creative entrepreneurs. The set designers, the sound engineers, the lighting people, the camera people. All of them, they started working 3-4 days before the launch. So they created the enabling environment for the creatives to come and stand on the platform to exhibit their talent. So we are not going to look only to the creatives themselves, but the people who make the work happen. These are business entities. So these are the things that we're going to focus on. For example, you want to help the Ghanaian music industry. You don't go and give money to musicians. I am one of them. The first thing they'll do is going to buy a flashy car. So you set up record labels that are being driven through PPP, that are being driven by private people with the funding. What has bedeviled the Ghanaian creative industry, especially the music and the film industry, is lack of funding. And you don't also give funding to people who have no knowledge and idea about what it is to run a record label. You know, for example, an artist in Ghana makes a hit. We are only 35 million people. So when he makes a hit in Ghana, yes, you make some small money, but
It's not enough.
it's not enough. If you want the artist to really blow, then you need a record label that has the required resources, because music is based on marketing. In fact, it is 30% talent, 70% business. If somebody releases a single and put $250,000 as his marketing budget, and you sit in Ghana and you release a single and your marketing budget is 100,000 Ghana cedis, how on earth do you think you can compete with such a person? You know, and when you promote the Ghanaian artist to the global level, at the end of the day, his name is attached. He's being identified by his country, the Ghanaian artist, Ghanaian music, Ghanaian fashion, Ghanaian film. So it is something that we need to be deliberate, and I'm really, really working hard because I'm an artist myself. So that platform that I didn't get, I'm working hard with my team to be able to create that platform for the up-and-coming Ghanaian artists and those who are already in the system that are struggling. A lot of our artists, they've gotten to a level that they should become global, but they don't have the needed backbone.
Okay.
That is what the Nigerians are beating us to. You know, I'll give you typical examples. During the apartheid time, you had the Warner Brothers and the Sony Music and all these record companies were in South Africa, but they weren't promoting the African musicians. Until Gallo Music came, black-owned record label came and started promoting Hugh Masekela and Miriam Makeba and all these people, and boom, South African music became something else. The same thing applies to even United States of America. Some time ago, a black artist would do a beautiful song and they'll put white man's picture at the back of the sleeve. It took Motown Records, black-owned label, started promoting and signing the black artists, the Diana Ross and the Michael Jacksons and all these people, and boom, the same thing must happen in Ghana. We have to have a record company, one or two, well-resourced, so as to be able to play the game at the global level. That is the only way out. So it's not just a talk. We have to walk the talk deliberately, intentionally. Like our film industry, and I'm happy that now we have private investors who are ready to invest in our film industry. It is very, very important. So we give ourselves, in the next 2 to 3 years, we have to see a major shift. And then we have the backing of the president, because he has determined that he wants to change the face of our creative economy and the tourism. Because if tourism was a factory, its feedstock is the creative economy. You cannot thrive with tourism without supporting the creative economy. So it's intertwined, and culture. So that's what needs to be done, and I believe that we will succeed.
Okay. I'm going to take this question, and then I can allow Robert and Adam to also come in. I believe they also have a lot of questions to ask with regards to the Black Star experience. Now, during the previous administration, I mean, lots of promises were made to us, but most were not achieved. So what are you going to do in your own way to make sure the promises made by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's administration will be fulfilled, where we will know, you know how our industry is, when that time comes and it's not there, we will keep shouting, we will keep talking until like something comes up. So what are you going to do in your own way?
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, within his first 120 days, he will launch Black Star Experience. He has done that. It's a promise fulfilled. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised that the Black Star Experience is going to be all year round activity. And I'm still emphasizing that Black Star Experience is not an event. It is a way of life. And you will see things happening. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said he is going to help for us to develop the infrastructure under the creative arts tourism industry. And during the launch, he emphasized on it that he's going to do that through the big push. And even we at the Secretariat, we are also working very, very hard to ensure that we attract investment into the Ghanaian economy in relation to the cultural arts and tourism industry. Just like I said that we are facilitating a privately owned film studio, Hollywood standard, and a lot more will come. Record companies will be set up properly. And what we're going to do to ensure sustainability is most of the projects are going to be driven by private capital. So that when the private man is running it, you don't come and interfere as government, you know. So these are the things that we're working hard. For example, there are some projects that are or will be under the Ministry of Tourism. My work at the Secretariat is coordination. And in our coordination, we will also bring in investment. Things that we have not even promised, we will bring them. We will not say that, oh, there's an opportunity to do something for this country, but because it was not in our manifesto, we will not do it. No. We are combing throughout the world whatever opportunity that will enhance the Black Star Experience, we will do. But there are specific promises that was in the manifesto that is under the Ministry of Tourism, and I believe that we have a capable minister who will handle some of these things.
Okay. Now, there's this video of the Speaker of Parliament speaking about a lady he met who was referring to the activities that happened in December in Ghana as Dirty December. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to ask what you think, what you make of that name, or should I say that name, Dirty December, because Album Bagmin actually condemned the use of the term Dirty December to describe Ghana internationally. So, you are in that office, and obviously, Speaker is also, obviously there with the name and everything. But I would want you to listen to what he said, and then maybe after that, we could actually, move on so that you can, tell us more or what you think about this. Of course, this is Daybreak Hits here on Hit 1039 FM. If you're just joining me this morning, my guest is Uncle Rex, and Uncle Rex has been here. We've been talking so much about the Black Star Experience, an initiative that we all have been waiting for. And we've had conversations about it, and we've been wanting to know what exactly is about, what is going to happen. Many of you thought it was a monthly event, or it was going to be a monthly event. He's explained everything about it. And all activities that obviously we're all looking forward to it. He's been sharing all of that. So for now, the information is coming. But as I said, a question I just asked, and we all want answers to it. It has to do with the term Dirty December, which I believe we've all used it over and over. But this time, our Speaker of Parliament says that the term said is not too good for that. So let's take a listen to it. When we come back, Uncle Rex would actually bring us to speed on this one.
When I recently visited the United States, and when I introduced myself as coming from Ghana, a very beautiful black girl came out to say she was coming to Ghana. I said, what are you going to do in Ghana? She said she was coming to attend Dirty December. I said, what is Dirty December? He said, well, you said you are from Ghana. I said, yes, I'm from Ghana, but I've never heard Dirty December. What is Dirty December? There I was told that Dirty December is the month of December celebrated in Ghana by allowing everybody everywhere in the world to come into this country and to do whatever they want to do, free and go back. No wonder red is now in Ghana. As leaders, we have not yet gone beyond. In fact, we did not accept Canada. How can we now accept red? This is what is happening and destroying our country. We must all stand up and fight it.
Daybreak Hits. Yeah, so Dirty December. Uncle Rex. And it's like it's in the minds of people. I mean, I meet my friends outside and when I'll be coming for Dirty December. Like it's a term that is used. But
I think that speaker heard the word dirty as DIRTY. So obviously nobody, no Ghanaian, no serious-minded Ghanaian will be happy to describe our country or any event in our country as dirty. But the Dirty December that is referred to the December stuff is DETTY. They sound the same. With the English language is dynamic. So certain things sounds the same but with different meaning. In fact, the Dirty December was derived from the word dirty, but not necessarily dirty. It's an if you even Google it, it's saying that in the context, the Dirty December term is derived from the word dirty, but with a playful twist. So the meaning implies a time of carefree celebration, festivities, stuff like that. So it has to do with celebration, enjoyment. That's the time that we've earmarked to enjoy ourselves without limits. So if it is party, just party. We have a party at the beaches, different parties happening, different concerts happening, so people come and enjoy themselves and go. So I understand speaker, because obviously if you hear the word and then it has to relate to Ghana, you will ask questions until you are explained or somebody explained to you in the context. You may not understand it, but it has become a word that has attracted people to come to Ghana, and those who come to Ghana with that attraction don't really think of it being Ghana being dirty. It's a term. Language is very, very dynamic. So we will plead with Honorable Speaker of Parliament that we in the creatives, we have a way of doing things. It is only in the creative that something is good, we say it's wicked. You
ethics.
This celebrated comedian. He used to be on Metro TV.
KSM.
KSM. He said, what is happening? Last, he took the kids to a place and they were buying something that it looked good. But his son was like, wow, this is bad. This is bad. He said, what is happening? He said, it's too much. I said, so the Gen Zs, if you say something, it's the opposite.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not. I get you, but it's not really about Gen Z.
It's not Gen Z.
It's a term that has been, let's say, from the anything. I don't want to say hip. But it's been. There are terms that have been used for a long time. Like he's saying, you say this is wicked.
This
it
is
doesn't
wicked.
necessarily mean that
it's a wicked
or they go like,
person.
hey, Charlie, this is fat.
Yes,
and they tell you it's not FAT, it's PHAT.
Exactly.
And this is bad. It doesn't mean it's not good. It means like it's on point.
Yeah.
So like somebody said that this guy is a goat. That doesn't mean you are a goat. So he should bear with us. We are creatives. We are always creating. We're changing languages to mean different things and all that. So it's not DIRTY. Dirty December is DETTY. It's unrestricted celebration. Jiwani. But we have laws in this country. You can't come here and do anything that is against the law. Nobody will allow you to do that. If you do that, if you go against the law, you'll be arrested. The fact that we are celebrating our Dirty December doesn't mean you can come here and do whatever you like. Right. So whoever translated it to him that you can come to Ghana and do anything you like is not true. That is not what Dirty December means. Dirty December means unrestricted celebrations all over the place. Come and enjoy yourself and go. So, Honorable Speaker, we plead with you. We are creatives. So please let us be free and then do our stuff. Thank you very much.
All right. Now, we used to have your return. I mean, I think about last Friday where I was speaking about, I think, the Black Star experience. And when I mentioned Beyond the Return, I think in my delivery, what I said, I think I said, they are not scrapping beyond the return, but it was a bit of confusion because we're not sure. So now that we had a year of return beyond the return by the previous government, does it mean it still exists? In December, we're still going to have that, or is going to be scrapped? What exactly would it be?
As I said earlier on, Black Star Experience is not an event. Year of Return was a one-off event that celebrated the 400 years of the cancellation of the transatlantic slave trade. Yes. That is why after we celebrated the Year of Return, we couldn't continue because it is one-off celebration. That's why the previous government created something that's called Beyond the Return. It is still an event that happens in December. So we are going to amplify it because our catchy word is amplify and or create. So the already existing projects, you don't want to, we want more. Why do you destroy the ones that have been created already? We have to just add up, make it better. For example, there are a lot of private initiatives that we will have to find ways to amplify them. If you have Chalewati, why would you want to destroy it? This is a private initiative. If you have TGMA, it's been in existence for what, 20 years, right? 26 years. Why can't we support it for it to become a global, just like Americans did their Grammy and we are all cramming to be part of it? Why can't we also support our VGMA to become, TGMA to become a global? So
please say it again. Say it again.
So it is something that we have to be deliberate about. Most of the private initiatives that are thriving, we need to support and amplify them. Most of them that were good initiatives that could not sustain because of maybe funding or something like that, we need to sit with the originators and see how we can support them so that the thing can go on. Because most of the projects we want to create, if it is not driven by private people, it will collapse. We know ourselves. We shouldn't kid ourselves. We will bring our NDC and PP thing in and then destroy it. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that most of the good projects that happened with previous government needs to be continued. For example, we had Panafest. The previous government came through the Year of Return and the Beyond Return. Panafest lost its shine. We are going to re-amplify Panafest to be a standalone project, whilst we also amplify Year of Return to be a standalone project, because they are events within the yearly and monthly calendars. But Black Star Experience is overarching. It's over all these things because Black Star Experience, it's our brand, the country's brand to the globe. So if you go to the international market and you say Black Star Experience, we are saying see Ghana. What will you see in Ghana? Year of Return, Panafest, Chalewati, so, and more will be created. And we say feel Ghana. What are you coming to feel? You are coming to feel our events, our parties, on all that, and our culture. When we see and enjoy Ghana, what are you coming to enjoy? Year of Return, Dirty December, all these things, you know. So that is what it is. Anybody who tells you that Black Star Experience is a rebrand of a Year of Return doesn't understand what he's talking about. Black Star Experience is rebranding Ghana through culture, arts, and tourism. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me just go straight to Edem and Robert, and then maybe I'll leave my last question for Saves. Edem, good morning.
Good morning, Omar.
Yes, I mean, we've had these conversations about Black Star Experience over and over. I believe if there's any question you would like to ask Uncle Rest or
I'll start with recommendation. I think it's looked so close, but it's still doable. I will urge Uncle Rex, since Robert is here, I'll be very glad to see a partnership between Black Star Experience and the TGMA because it's the biggest entertainment event in Ghana on our calendar, and it's happening this Saturday. I think it will be a good platform for the Black Star Experience to even engage, because that room will have all the stakeholders. I mean, if they will have even 5 minutes to, because I mean, the most important aspect of the nation branding is stakeholder engagement, because that is where people will be aligned with the vision. So I'll be glad to see that partnership, for them to even have some some 5 minutes to address people in there. And possibly we could even have a Black Star experience stand with some of the beautiful culture, among other things of Ghana.
They have merch.
Yeah. So, I mean, I that conversation can start today. Robert is here because it can be one of the tools because it's live on DSTV and almost all the social media platforms are covering. And I'll be glad if there is that partnership between them and TGMA because it's representing our sound and it's one of the appealers.
Uncle Rex, is it possible?
Black Star Experience, we don't want to just do things for the cameras. When we say we are collaborating with TGMA, it's a serious issue. Must be thought through. You cannot just... Today is what?
Tuesday.
And the date is what? The date is what?
Saturday. 10th.
The date is
10th.
The date is 10th. And today is 6th. We have just 4 days. Okay? So you just can't go and then show your logos and your this thing. And so Black Star Experience is collaborating with it. And then what? We need to sit down with the owners and the promoters of TGMA to understand what the collaboration would mean. This is a project that has gone on for 20-something years. You just don't go and say, and that's for cameras and say, oh, Black Star Experience. And no. We want to sit with them to see how we can collaborate to, the word is amplify, to make it bigger. So this is a talk that must be done properly. And then the real aspect of it, when that thing comes, then there can be some kind of a media announcement that Black Star Experience collaborates with TGMA in going forward. So it will reflect in the following year properly. We have only 4 days, so we don't want to do... Look, Black Star Experience is also a brand of excellence. We don't want to do things haphazardly, So, yes, I'm presenting an award on Saturday. On Saturday, but as Rex Omar, the coordinator of Black Star Experience. But Black Star Experience collaborating with TGMA must be a different story altogether. The MOU or whatever must be spelled out completely. What is it that we are doing with them that will be able to help them sustain? Because we've realized that they change from sponsorship to sponsorship, maybe things that they would want to do. They have ideas. I know Teresa and Yola. There are things. I know they have bigger ideas for the award, but they are limited, So we need to sit with them. Which areas? What can we do? So we have to plan all these things before we execute. So don't forget that there are also event organizers. So some of our biggest events that we want to do as Black Star Experience, what is stopping us from collaboration so that we put our best foot out there. Right. So it's not just a show. It must be. The optics are nice, but I prefer that we do the homework first before thinking about optics. I want a form, a substance over form instead of form over substance. Okay. So let us do it that way, please.
Right. Robert.
So, that was to, suggest to them that a conversation can start because it's one of our biggest exports and we need to take advantage of that. I also, this we are looking at, if you look at their mission, their strategy, it's about bridging the Ghanaian and those in the diaspora. I want to find out, their engagement with our national team, the Black Stars, because they are also one of our biggest exports. What is it, are they planning to do with Black Stars? And also, that when it's about nation branding, certain things cannot be just about, okay, do this. Now let's do this. At times it has to be policy initiatives. And those things must be, adhere strictly. Are there some policy initiative they have tabled or they're about to table to the government so that it will fit into our national plan as a nation?
If you say government, who is government? Black Star Experience is government. It is a government initiative. So there has been a lot of thoughts into some of the things we want to do. There's been a lot of research. If I show you even the logo, the kind of work that has gone into the logo. The logo has a meaning, a real and true meaning. That is, we have a brand, Ghana's brand Bible. Even the logo, how to use it. You cannot just go and take Black Star Experience logo and use it. No way. You would have met the secretariat to discuss what is it that you're doing, and if we believe that it's in the interest of the country and we want to partner with you, then it must be, whatever we're doing with you must be excellent. This is how we want Ghana to be seen. So it is something that we're just 3 months in government. We don't want to rush to impress anybody. We want to do things according to plan so that it will be sustainable. So you're talking about Black Stars. Already our national team is a Black Star. But when we talk about sports tourism, it's not only football. The fact that our national team is called Black Star does not mean that we should concentrate on the football aspect of it. What about the lesser sports? Hockey, table tennis, whatever. The bottom line is we want to do things that will create opportunities for young people. Football is already very popular. So we will do sports tourism, but not only on football, but across.
My question, the crux of my question is not even popularizing it, because we are looking at, making our brand Ghana very popular amongst the world.
Yes.
And one of the tools, people go to us now to have Visit Rwanda on their JC among other. Black Star is one of the, highest marketing tools for us, because clearly they play in tournaments like World Cup, African Cup of Nations, and some of the players are playing on the bigger stages, and we can engage some of the players to further promote the Black Star experience agenda for us. So mine is on how we can use them to further throw light on the Black Star experience.
I understand you.
Yeah.
So if you heard of my opening remarks, I said there's going to be a major exhibition of tournament that has to do with one of the big European clubs, legends, with our Black Star legends. Our national team is already a Black Star, and it is all over the world. So it's just adding the experience. That's an easy thing. Okay. And it's a national team. So the day we launched, you see the drama that happened on the stage. It's a national dance ensemble, So everything that represents Ghana, our collaboration with Black Stars, the national team, is a natural thing. Already they are called Black Star. So it's a natural thing. If you compare it to Rwanda had to go, they have their national team, but they had to go out there to sign an agreement with Arsenal to use Arsenal platform to promote Rwanda. You understand what I'm saying? Ours is different. Ours is different. We want to use other stuff through culture, arts, and tourism. So the only way the sports come in, they come in through the sports tourism. But the emphasis is on creative economy.
Right.
Culture.
Okay.
You see, so it doesn't mean that we will not do things with sports. We will do things with sports. But our main focus is on creative arts and tourism.
Right.
Yeah.
Robert.
Yeah.
Yes. Over to you.
But it's just a suggestion. Because
powerful marketing. We're already doing it. Yes. That's what I've told you. We're already doing it. Yes, Adam.
Okay, Robert.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Uncle Rex, thank you very much. First, I'm happy that conversations can be held. Yeah. I'm sure we'll always take that offline. I just want to delve into a few things. Okay. I'm looking at your 7 pillars: cinema, audio, cuisines, aesthetics, style, literature, and heritage. I'm asking if you can just throw a little bit of light on probably aesthetics and style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aesthetics has to do with, even recently you saw people branding and Bridge doing the painting. Yeah. Ghanaian painters have been relegated to the background. But here we know that there are countries that somebody can buy one painting for $50 million. So we need to bring them to the limelight. Our painters and our sculptors.
Okay, so you're referring to visual arts.
Visual arts.
Okay.
You know, and when we use the word aesthetics, we're looking at how you see Ghana. You get me, either through photography or painting or sculptor or whatever it is. So these people, we need to elevate and amplify them, and also help them to be able to export. And we help them with exhibitions. You know, so we can have a Ghanaian exhibition. We can name it with one of our heroes, and name it something exhibition in, say, New York, or say in Beijing, whatever. So people can also come and see, hey, so these people, these Ghanaian people, they are also able to do some of these things, you know, so as to be able to have all these things going on.
What about style?
Style is about design.
Okay.
Design as to, you know, the other time I was asking my brother KOD that, okay, for so many years we've had smoke. And it is the same. It doesn't change. It doesn't develop. What are we going to do to refine smoke without changing the design? But we can add on, you know, some stuff through that somebody, you know, when people get very much, sophisticated, if you are not careful, they will look down on some of our traditional clothing. But if we refine it, people will be proud of wearing them, you know. So the design aspect, the design approach through industrial design, through our architecture. Now you see most of our architecture is looking to European standard of architecture. All the designs. Very soon, if we are not careful, Ghana will be looking like any of these European countries. Seriously speaking, and what makes us unique? We need to design our houses according to our climate, according to our cultural understanding to what art is. How have we been able to design this, our village style of mud houses? We can modernize it. You see it, you can see that this is a mud house, but in a modernized way. So if we talk about the style, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that one I appreciate very much, because obviously when you look at Jubilee House and anybody explains to you that it's a stool,
you see it.
Basically, you know, when you're explaining it, there's always some sense of, oh, okay, so this is what it means, this is what it was picked from.
Exactly.
You know, the same way to have heard again that, like, you know, basically you go to Dubai and you see some of these things translated from their culture.
Exactly.
I've also asked a couple of times, imagine if you had huge buildings in Fonton from drum shape.
Yes.
Exactly.
Or you have like two big giants like skyscrapers and it's in Fonton from shape and with your sticks on it.
You know,
if it's a tourist site, you can imagine
it will make us unique. You know, because that is who we are. For example, we are community-based country. Because when we were young, it's recently that we are blindly copying the European way of living. So, but when I was brought up in Krofrom, in Kumasi, everybody's mother is your mother. We were gang. We go to this guy's house to go and eat his mother's food, and we go to another guy's house to eat his mother's food. We grew up, and when one person gets opportunity to travel, he wants to bring everybody, not family members, or friends.
Yeah.
You know, we used to eat in one bowl in a compound house. So if you look at the houses that we used to build, we built them in a compound way.
No walls.
In a communal way, no walls. Why are we changing? And so it's becoming, we are allowing the Eurocentric stuff to take us away from who we really are. And all these things are things that we need to pay attention to in our design.
So having established what we've established, then my last question actually, I'm looking at the UNCTAD classification of creative industries. And when I look at the 7 pillars, I don't see performing arts mentioned, so to say, even though I can admit that, yes, we have cinema and then we have the audio, which basically cinema and audio is about film and industry. But I'm looking at the UNCTAD classification. Audiovisual, for example, under their classification takes care of films. But then we don't have performing arts in there, because if we do, that's supposed to take care of the live music, theater, dance, circus, whatever. And all of the
Someone just added, somebody just sent comedy. Albert sent comedy.
So comedy falls within film. Okay. And then performing arts. And performing arts, when you say music, somebody must write. Somebody must perform. So if you say you are listing all the 7 pillars, all these things that you are talking about falls within one something. When we say audio or music, all the performing arts, whatever, goes within it. When you say film, it also has to do with theater, feature films, and soap operas, and documentaries, and so many other aspects of film.
Okay.
So I know you're right. We know about the UNCTAD definition of these things, but in fact, the 7 pillars, we thought it was even too many. So we wanted to squeeze it to even 5 pillars, but we realized that it will be difficult. So the 7 pillars encompasses all these things that you're talking about.
They actually have a broader categorization where they have heritage, arts, media, and functional creations.
Exactly.
And so in there, for example, there are these high levels you can see. So when it comes to arts, they have visual arts, performing arts, literary arts. Yeah, but it's just that, because it's not spelt, if you don't take it, we not see ourselves in there. That's one. And
everybody is there.
And again, media is actually part of it, but media is also not clearly stated.
Everybody is there because
maybe an elaborate version of the pillars would help so that everybody can see themselves in the agenda.
I understand where you're coming to. In the bigger Bible, we have these things spelled into details, including software developers and all these content creators. Everybody is there, but in presentation, you cannot. It will be too much long. So the actual media Bible. The creative economy is huge, So I understand you. It is in there. It is in there that we're going to pay particular attention to every aspect of it. I mean, this is just the beginning. I thank you for bringing this attention. It is there, but with the 7 pillars, we couldn't go to. Maybe what we have to do is under film, we have to go to detail.
Yes.
What falls under the film? Under music, we have to go into detail. Under fashion, we have to go, because fashion, when you talk about fashion, you're talking about also fabrics, accessories, makeup. All these things falls within fashion. Models, all these things form within fashion. So we will deal with that.
Okay. Right. And on a lighter note, before we wrap up, Uncle Rex, before your nomination, industry folks were pushing for you to become the sector minister. I don't know if you ever heard it.
I heard it, but you see, God has his own way of doing things. I wasn't expecting to be a sector minister myself because politically it was not possible. Because, the president's hands are always bound by the constitution. You have to consider gender balance, parliamentary balance, regional balance, and all these things. And I didn't see myself being the sector minister. And at the same time, I felt that where God wants me to be is exactly where the president has put in me. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very, very appreciative of the confidence he has in me. This responsibility is huge. Without his own guidelines and then directions, and I thank God that the whole presidency, all the chief of staff, the special advisor, Auntie Valerie Sawyer, the Standogbe, everybody is supporting us to succeed, including the president himself. So we are very happy, and we have a very cordial relationship with all the ministry, with all the state agencies and everything. So it's a beautiful thing that we need to continue so that Ghana succeeds.
Right. So there you go. And thank you so much, Uncle Rex. Is there a way we can reach out to you, maybe in terms of a website or anything that we can look out for in terms of if we're looking for information?
Yes. You go to www.blackstarexperience.org. That is our website. And then we are also on all the social media handles. We have Black Star Experience at Twitter, and then Black Star Experience at Facebook and all that. So we are all over the place.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Uncle Rex. Thank you for, making time to join us here this morning on Daybreak. It's to, share and also give us more details about the Black Star Experience. As and when anything comes up, we'll definitely call you or your team so that we can get more explanation to that. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
The only thing I want to say is I thank the president. I'm overwhelmed for the kind of trust and confidence he has in me. And I pray that God gives me the wisdom and the fortitude to be able to execute what my mandate is seamlessly with the support of the all agencies and the ministries. And then I'm open for criticisms, and I thank the industry people, including all of you. We are doing this together. I'm a human being. When you see me making mistakes, my doors are open. You can criticize me constructively, including our political opponents. My doors are open. This is for Ghana. It's not for only NDC or any. So we are all building this together so our country ends up becoming the winner.
All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Rex. And thank you so much, Robert. And thank you, Adam, as well. Thank you for doing the listening as well if you joined us this morning. Thank you to the entire team, Mr. Hagler, Ni Apnes, Debbie Sui. Thank you so much. But before we wrap it all,
this is Hits.